Darul Uloom Deoband is today the second largest Islamic educational institution on earth. Each year, 10,000 applicants compete for admission, seeking access to a library of 67,000 volumes and manuscripts. Its graduates now staff madrasas and lead communities across 6 continents, from the United Kingdom to South Africa. This global network emerged from a total vacuum of power. It was established in 1866, precisely when Islamic scholarship in India faced systemic erasure. In 1857, the Mughal Empire collapsed, and the British East India Company seized total control of the Indian subcontinent. The retribution against scholars who supported the rebellion was lethal. Historical records indicate that over 51,000 were martyred or hanged. Colonial authorities then eliminated the state funding and royal patronage that had historically sustained every major Islamic center of learning. The British began dismantling local educational structures, replacing them with Western systems designed to favor English values. With their military crushed and their funding erased, the surviving scholars had to find a way to transmit their knowledge without a state to protect them. In 1866, founders Muhammad Qasim Nanatawi and Rashid Ahmad Gangohi shifted their strategy. They moved away from open military conflict and toward the preservation of knowledge. They designed the school to be immune to British leverage by refusing all state grants, relying instead on small anonymous donations from the local community. The school utilized the Dars-e-Nizami, a rigorous 8-year curriculum that standardized Islamic education so it could be replicated anywhere. The final year, the Dawra-e-Hadith, certifies that a graduate has received these texts through an unbroken chain of teachers, stretching back over a millennium. By combining public funding with a standardized syllabus, the founders ensured Islamic scholarship could survive in any village, regardless of who held political power. While students studied classical texts in the courtyard, the seminary's leadership was secretly preparing for a second phase of resistance. Deoband's first student, Shaikhul Hind Muhammad Hassan, orchestrated the Silk Letter Movement, a conspiracy to coordinate a multinational uprising using messages written on fabric. These scholars sought military alliances with the Ottoman Empire and Afghanistan, hoping to spark a coordinated rebellion across the frontier. In 1915, they reached the peak of their political audacity, establishing a provisional Indian government in exile in the city of Kabul. The British eventually intercepted the Silk Letters, leading to the collapse of the plot and the imprisonment of the movement's leaders in Malta. This history reveals that the seminary was never a passive institution. In Deoband, traditional theology and radical anti-colonial espionage were part of the same mission. When Indian independence finally arrived, Deobandi scholars stood firmly against the partition of the country. They argued for a united, democratic state, demonstrating a vision for India where religious identity did not require separate borders. Since then, the Deobandi model of education has been exported far beyond the borders of India. Because the system was designed to function without state support, it has become the primary model for Muslim diaspora communities in the UK and North America. After 150 years, Darul Uloom Deoband remains a case study in resilience, a reminder that when an authority attempts to erase a culture, the most enduring response is to build a school.